Welcome to my CBSE English teacher. Today let's learn the lesson Madam Rides the Bus by Wally from class 10 English. If you're watching my video for the first time, consider subscribing. Don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a video. You can listen to the explanations of lessons from classes 10, 11 and 12 English. Let's move on to the video now. About the author. Wally is a pseudonym of the famous writer R.S. Krishnaswamy. He was born in a village near Tirunelveli in Tamil Nadu on 12 November 1920 and died on November 9, 2006. He was a famous Tamil writer, journalist, critic and translator. He wrote a total of 75 books. He wrote novels, poetry collections, plays and essays. He was awarded the Sahitya Academy Award in 1978 for his critical works on modern Tamil poetry. Introduction. This is a story about the first journey of a 8-year-old girl in a bus. Her name was Wally Ammai. She was called Wally for short. She was a curious girl and wanted to know many things. She did not have playmates of her own age. Her favorite pastime was standing in the front doorway of her house to see what was happening outside. Let's look at the summary. Watching the happenings in the street gave her many new unusual experiences. The most fascinating thing of all was the bus that passed through the street each hour. The bus travelled between her village and the nearest town. The sight of the bus was a source of unending joy for Wally. It was a great joy for her to watch new sets of passengers every time the bus passed through the street. As she watched the bus every day, she developed a wish to have a ride on that bus. Her wish became stronger and stronger until it was an overwhelming desire. Wally carefully listened to the conversations between her neighbors and people who had travelled on the bus or who regularly used it. She asked some casual questions also. In this way, she learnt about the small details about the journey. She saved every paisa by resisting her desire to buy ice creams, toys, balloons, etc. She had also killed her desire to visit the village fair and have a ride in the merry-go-round. When she had saved 60 paise, she was ready for her first bus journey. Then she planned how she would slip out of the house. She knew that her mother would sleep daily after lunch. She decided to use these hours for her journey. She decided to board the bus at 1 o'clock so that she could be back by 2:45. So one fine spring day, Wally boarded the bus. The conductor was so amazed seeing her confidence that he allowed her to board the bus. He was a jolly fellow. He understood that Wally spoke with pride. He called her madam and offered her seat to her. He asked others to make way for the madam. There were only 6 or 7 passengers on the bus. They were all looking at Wally. She overcame her shyness and quickly walked to an empty seat and sat down. Wally looked around in the bus. The bus had a fine painting of green stripes on the white color. It had a soft and comfortable seats. It had a beautiful clock above the windscreen. The overhead bars shone like silver. Then she tried to look outside. She found her view cut off by a curtain that covered the lower part of a window. So she stood on a seat to enjoy the outside scene. The bus was going along the bank of a canal. She saw palm trees, mountains and the blue sky. On the other side there were green fields. Suddenly an elderly man warned Wally not to stand on the seat. He called her a child and said that she could fall and get hurt. But Wally does not care for him. She told him proudly that she was not a child. She had paid the full fare like others. The conductor told the man that Wally was a grown-up madam. Wally looked at the conductor angrily and said that she was not a madam. The conductor told her that she should not stand on the seat. She could fall when the bus took sharp turns. but Wally ignored his remarks also. On the way, the bus stopped and some new passengers got in. Afraid of losing her seat, Wally finally sat and an elderly woman came and sat beside her. Wally looked at the woman. She found her repulsive. She had ugly earrings. She was chewing betel leaves. Wally could see that the betel juice was likely to spill over her lips. The woman asked Wally whether she was traveling all alone. Wally told her that she was alone and she got a ticket too. Then the old woman asked her if it was proper for a child to travel alone. She also asked whether Wally knew exactly where she was going in the town. Wally told the old woman that she need not bother about her. Then she turned her face towards the window. The bus moved on across a bare landscape. Wally enjoyed the outside scene. Trees came running towards them. Sometimes the bus seemed to strike the oncoming vehicle, but both passed safely. Suddenly, Wally clapped her hands with joy. A cow was running in the middle of the road in front of the bus. The bus slowed down. The driver sounded the horn again and again, but the cow became more frightened and continued running before the bus. Wally laughed and laughed until there were tears in her eyes. At last, the cow moved off the road. The bus passed by the side of a railway crossing. Wally enjoyed the scene of trains. The bus then catered to the city area. There were huge crowds of people. Wally looked at different things with surprise. Then the bus reached the city bus stand and stopped. Everybody got off the bus except Wally. The conductor asked Wally to get down, but she told him that she was going back on the same bus. He was surprised and asked her why she had come to the city. She replied that she just wanted to take a ride on the bus. He asked Wally if she would like to have a look at the sights outside the bus. Wally said that she was afraid of that. He asked her to have a cold drink. Wally said that she had not enough money for that. The conductor offered to pay for her drink, but Wally did not accept the offer. The bus resumed its journey. There were the same wonderful sights. Wally enjoyed the scene again, but suddenly she saw a young cow lying dead by the roadside. It had been struck by a fast moving vehicle. She asked the conductor if it was the same cow they saw earlier. The conductor nodded. Wally became sad. It had been a lovable, beautiful creature just a little while ago, but now the cow was without its charm and its life. The bus moved on. The memory of the dead cow haunted Wally. She no longer wanted to see out of the window. She kept sitting on a seat until her village came. She got down and wished the conductor. The conductor smiled. He told Wally that whenever she felt like riding the bus, she could come and join them. Wally reached home. She found her mother awake. She was talking to her aunt who lived in another street. She was a chatterbox. She asked Wally where she had been, but Wally just smiled. Her mother and the aunt were discussing the things outside the world. Her mother said that no one could know everything. At this, Wally remarked that there were many things happening without our knowledge. Her mother asked her what she meant. Wally's aunt called her a chit of a girl. She took an interest in things which did not concern her. She behaved as if she were a grown up lady. Wally smiled to herself. She didn't want them to understand her smile. Questions and answers. Question number 1. What was the source of joy for Wally? What was her strongest desire? Answer. Wally enjoyed watching the bus and its new set of passengers every time it crossed the village. It gave her a never ending joy. Her strongest desire was to travel in the bus and take a ride to the nearby town and back. Question number 2. What did Wally find out about the bus journey? How did she find out these details? Answer. Wally found out that the town was 6 miles from the village and it cost 30 paise to travel one side. It took 45 minutes to reach the town and the same bus could bring you back as well. Once she decided to travel by bus and started listening to the neighbors' conversation about their bus rides very carefully. In the process, she would herself ask some careful questions here and there in order to enhance her knowledge about the journey. Question number 3. Why does the conductor call Wally madam? Answer. Well prepared and proud, Wally got annoyed if someone called her a child or treated like one. On the other hand, the bus conductor was a jovial sort and began addressing her madam as she was grown enough, bought her ticket and could take care of herself. I hope you liked today's video. For more interesting videos, do subscribe to my CBSE English teacher. Do like, share and give your valuable comments and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.